Previously on Batman the Long Halloween was doing, so Batman offered him the choice of a coin flip. If Alberto wasn't the holiday killer, who is? And who is next? Wayne Manor beautifully sits as the sunset illuminates an orange glow on the vibrant grassy plain, and at its center, Bruce Wayne. He watches the sunset as a woman in white approaches him, her cherry red and green eyes complementing the aesthetic. He is happy, as he should be. He deserves to be happy. But we know it's not going to last. We know this is not the truth. The truth lies in the darkness, lifeless but not dead yet. Bruce Wayne signs off yet again another one of his assets to Carmine Falcone. A greenish glow illuminates from his once stark blue eyes, entangled in her flowery vines and unable to resist. Resist the pleasure, resist the poison, as Ivy pulls him deeper within her clutches. Sal Maroni walks up to the front of his restaurant to see a pile of dead bodies, with Holiday leaving his trademark, a .22 caliber pistol and a box of chocolates this time because it's Valentine's Day. The bat signal shines through Gotham City, but no response. As the holidays come along, the death continues. St. Patrick's Day, still no response. April 1st, still no response. The mystery killings continue as we are no closer to find out who the holiday killer is. In the previous movie, everyone tries to point fingers at Harvey Dent, which we know for a fact that he isn't. But they were also hinting at it being Alberto Falcone, and with close inspection to his actions and demeanor, he was our best bet. He had great motive, as a matter of fact. Holiday killing him off turns the tables on us now. We are back to square one, and Alberto was my best bet on who Holiday is. After being saved from Ivy by Selina, Bruce goes back into action once again in pursuit of Scarecrow. He unfortunately gets stabbed by Scarecrow's fear toxin. He begins to hallucinate as the familiar scene begins to play, but this time he's on the other side. Selina calls out to him, but all he could see is his mother.
Mother?
Sophia Falcone comes to see her father, who is heavily guarded due to the holiday killings. She wants to join the family business, but the Roman declines, not wanting to appear weak in front of his peers. He sends her off by giving her some money, and before he disappears, we get a glimpse of Scarecrow as the door shuts in her face as she uttered the words,
"Happy Father's Day, Papa."
Salvatore Maroni arrives to his father's ranch with Sophia Falcone as his escort. They have a secret relationship that nobody knows about, more of a Romeo and Juliet type love since their families are at war with each other. Salvatore Maroni makes his way to present his father a gift, to which Luigi proposes making peace with the Roman. A silent shot is fired. Luigi begins to choke as blood pours out from his throat. Holiday makes a run for it, and Sal makes pursuit but is stripped by a wayward vine. Sophia comes in from the direction to which he was running to. Now this scene was kind of interesting. Sophia Falcone piqued my interest, but I wouldn't want to put it past the movie to play the misdirection card once again as they did with Alberto, but here are the facts. She did come from the direction from which Holiday was fleeing to. She has a manly build and she wears a trench coat similar to Holiday. She has more than enough time to fix herself after Maroni's tumble. She wants to join the family business and she is in a relationship with Sal Maroni. Most of Holiday's targets work in her best interest one way or another, similar to Alberto, but that would still be too obvious of an answer because one thing I've learned from this movie is that if the answer is right in your face, it is probably the wrong answer. Falcone makes his way to the cemetery not particularly to pay his respects but to meet someone within the cemetery. He hands the unknown person an amount of money and walks out. Selina hangs back before making her way to follow the stranger. Sal Maroni offers Harvey Dent a choice. He would give him everything he has on the Roman if he and his men are cleared of all charges. Harvey decides to make his choice at the flip of a coin, the same two-headed coin which Batman offered him to make the decision to burn the Roman's money. There is no choice here. The coin is rigged, meaning he was going to do it anyways. He just wanted to pretend that he was leaving it to chance. It's the 4th of July and Batman intercepts Scarecrow in the process of a robbery, only to be taken out by the Mad Hatter. Harvey and Gilda share a moment under the fireworks as the hitman pulls out a gun at him. He is quickly saved by Selina, who then makes pursuit. He quickly follows after her to find out why she was almost killed just a few seconds ago, to which the stranger replied,
"If I was trying to kill you, you'd be dead already.
Someone is trying to make a statement. Clearly, this is no holiday, and the person's aim is to provoke Dent by killing Gilda. Carmine hired the hitman. Does it mean that he believes that Dent is holiday, or is there something going on that we don't know about? Why does he want Gilda dead? Harvey chases the hitman through the sewers, but the hitman makes good work of him and leaves him lying there, almost about to pass out, to which the sinister voice calls out,
Get up.
Harvey tries to stand but stumbles to his knees, and in front of him lies the hitman, dead, with the miniature Statue of Liberty and Holiday's signature murder weapon. He looks to his hands and sees blood. The voice in his head tells him to run as the police make their way to the crime scene, because if they saw the scene and put two and two together, he will be arrested as Holiday. Harvey isn't Holiday. He's beginning to slowly fall into darkness, but he isn't Holiday. This scene was made to make you believe that he might have a second personality which might come out as Holiday to make the murders, but I highly doubt that. This is Holiday once again making a murder and trying to pin it on the one everyone likely suspects to be the killer, which is Harvey. And goddamn it, did it almost work. Bruce makes his way into Harvey's basement, and on the table lies the murder weapon. He soon brings it to Maroni's hearing, at which Harvey is in attendance. It was time for Maroni to keep his end of the deal, but as Harvey questions him about the Roman, Sal turned Harvey into a laughingstock. He couldn't take it anymore. The people laughing, the voices in his head, it was making him crazy. Soon, he collects himself and resumes questioning him again, seeing that it was going nowhere, and he decides to request for a temporary dismissal of the hearing. But Maroni pours acid on his face after alluding to the fact that he could be Holiday. As I said before, if the answer is right in your face, then it's probably the wrong answer. The Holiday killings continue, and Bruce makes his way to see Gilda, since something piqued his interest. Harvey going to Oxford. Perhaps that could be the clue we are looking for. Sal Maroni was being transferred, probably due to his actions during the court hearings, but they were interrupted by Solomon Grundy. Maroni makes his way down the alley in fear of his life, but standing in the shadows is Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent is dead. Now there's only Two-Face. At this moment, Harvey made a connection, as you would if you were paying attention. But unfortunately for me, I didn't get it. I was in denial about who Holiday is.
Impossible.
But then again, I was too skeptical and nitpicky about the details, which I'll get to in a moment. Harvey was ordered to drop the gun, and as he did, Maroni was shot dead. It was Holiday. Batman tries to make pursuit but is stopped by Harvey. But why though? Why would Harvey protect the killer? Similar interest maybe? Unless...
Are you sure about that?
As much as I like to talk about what goes on from here, I think it's a spectacle you need to watch on your own to experience. The final act was so rich with everything, and I could watch it over and over again. Harvey's rebirth as Two-Face was both inspiring and kind of frightening at the same time, which earned him the respect of Gotham's well-known villains. Heck, even the Joker was following him. That has to mean something, right? In the end, upon the rooftop, the three men, once friends, came together for one last time. Harvey is now a different man than before, and is now driven by his new conviction about justice. The whole story was a terrible injustice to him. The world around him killed Harvey Dent, but Two-Face rose from the ashes. James still believes in justice and doing the right thing. His conviction wasn't shaken, but Bruce is kind of uncertain. What Harvey did was wrong, but he still believes that he can save his friend. He believed he could save everyone, but unfortunately, in the past year, he didn't save anyone. He questioned everything, what he was doing, his parents' involvement with the Roman, their redemption, sins of the fathers are unfortunately heavy burdens for the sons to carry. After everything, what did it cost? Was it worth it? Gilda is Holiday, which will explain her connection to Oxford, her long hours in the basement, not to mention the hitman trying to kill her instead of Harvey, to being able to kill Maroni in the alleyway, and finding the murder weapons at Harvey's house. If not Harvey, who else? It seemed like people kinda knew, but when they were implying to the fact, we saw it as pointing fingers at Harvey. The clues were there, but they weren't in your face, but I still didn't want to come to the conclusion that it was her, because why her? Why all these murders? What was he trying to achieve? Gilda was the person Alberto fell in love with at Oxford and wanted to start a life with, but his family would not allow it. She was pregnant with his child, but the Roman, in his stiff ways, would not allow a child to be conceived out of wedlock. So you can imagine what happened next, especially from a man like Falcone. The way Gilda lost her child broke her in more ways than one apparently. She wanted revenge, she wanted justice. Her work is done. The Roman and his family are no more. I usually title these videos X and why you should watch it, and I never actually get around to the part of why you actually need to watch it. So why do you need to watch this movie? It's actually been a while since a Batman movie has purely focused on the mystery nature of the Caped Crusader. Batman is the world's greatest detective, yet we are always focused on him kicking ass and saving the world. So this two-part movie was a more boost on the ground, return to formula approach of the Batman mythos, and you actually see Bruce trying to solve a case. Heck, you even tag along with him, making your own predictions of who you think the killer is due to the clues they purposely leave for you in certain scenes in order for you to come to your own conclusion. And it's actually a breath of fresh air for me. There are probably more stories like this in the comics, but as a casual comic fan, I actually appreciated this movie a lot. It seems Matt Reeves would try and incorporate some of these themes in his upcoming Batman movie alongside adding horror elements to the mix, which will actually be fun to watch. So if you want a grounded mystery themed story, the Batman The Long Halloween collection is a great movie which checks off all these boxes, and that's why you need to watch it. If you like this video, give it a like. Let me know what your thoughts about both movies are, and will you like to see more Batman stories like this? Let me know down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to be alerted whenever I post a video. And remember guys, to keep moving forward.
All we get is all we take.